Hello, everybody. I'm here today with Brian Trew, son of Pip Trew, legendary coach who started high school rugby. How you doing, Brian? Nice to have
I'm
you.
good. How are you, Charlie? Thanks for having me, man.
No, it's a pleasure. So I've been talking to a bunch of these guys who started high school back in 2004, most of them, but you guys were actually, as far as I have found out, the first ones who started a team. And I've already spoken with your father, the coach, Pip True,
Yeah,
and in those conversations, your name, of course, came up, and it seemed
of
to
course
be
so.
that you had a big um, place to play in the starting of the team. So
Yeah,
tell me about as much as you can remember, because it's been more than
sure.
20 years, of course.
It's been a
Uh,
long time.
I,
Yeah, I
I
started.
still want to
Oh,
know,
sorry.
like exactly what if you remember, because you were like 15 years old at the time. So
Yeah,
what happened and what made you try to move forward to get a team started? Which is the kids always are the ultimate reason the team starts.
right. Exactly. Yeah. So I started playing. I was playing sevens with the local uh, rugby club. It was the Treasure Coast Pirates, and so I was around 13. The summer I turned 13, 14. And sevens is a little, you can kind of get away with having a kid kind of play. But then I started playing 15s when I was 14. And I remember the first game, I just got demolished, like crushed on the
You
wing. And
you
so
mean
my
with
dad kind of,
you you mean with the men's team? You were playing with the men's team?
yeah, yeah, we were playing the men's with the men's team. We did sevens. And then when I was 14, I decided to try to play on the wing in the 15s. And yeah, the first game was not good. And so my dad really kind of sat me down. He's like, do you think you could get a group of kids together that would be interested? I said, I think so, because when we played sevens, I had about 4 or 5 of my friends come out, really enjoyed it, and so we kind of took that core group of 4 or 5 guys, and by that time we were sophomores, and so we kind of put all these things on campus that we're trying to start a club team because our school was allowing sports clubs, and so my dad said he would, if I got enough guys to put a starting team on, he would coach. And so a lot of freshmen came out, which was really interesting. And that was kind of the whole core, which was nice.
So you had to like talk to the school first and put some paperwork through, present it. How
Yes,
did that
that's there.
work?
So my dad was instrumental in that. And, back then, the internet wasn't quite as good as it was now. So finding articles about how rugby is really good for, you know, um, camaraderie, teamwork, also personality building. So we put all that stuff together, found some links, some sites, and my dad helped me. We had a presentation with the principal, but we were lucky because my mom worked at the school, so we kind of had a good, good in with the school program. And yeah, they didn't see a problem with it. They didn't. So they let us kind of do it on our own. And at the time, there wasn't any other clubs around. So basically, it was just us against each other, Tuesday and Thursdays. And then finally, Cocoa Beach, Old Red Eye, they got a youth
Yeah,
team
hold
together.
on. Yeah, let's before we talk about that. Tell me about those practices, those first and those first practices. How did they look like? And you also had girls, right? Because you had to do it for
We
both
did.
genders.
Yeah, we did have girls. Yeah, so the first couple practices were just watching tape. So we would all meet in my mom's class and we just have the projector down and my dad just going through, how the game works. Here's the game, that's kind of, and it kind of actually got them excited and get more and more people like, you got to watch this game. We've never seen anything like it. And so we had a good crew, probably about 20 boys and at least 10 girls. And so we'd all kind of link up and we, just ran the drills. My dad did the basic, passing drills and some 2-on-1 situations. Just passing the ball was like, foreign thing to most kids. And so it was real primitive at first, but more and more kids. So by the time, midway through the season, there was all this buzz around school. And we were lucky at Lincoln Park. There wasn't a football team. So we didn't have a
Okay.
football team. So that was huge. So guys that played football but wanted an outlet to, play, they came along too. So we got these great athletes that you would usually get for the Lincoln Park for the high school football team are coming out and playing rugby. And it's not an easy transition, but they know how to run with the ball, and that's a lot to has a lot to do with the sport. So that was really nice having that.
So you spent like a year just like practicing, right? That first year,
Pretty
I
much, yeah,
believe.
getting it all. Yeah, first year, and then like I said, Cocoa Beach kind of came along, and that was awesome. But at the same time, that's all we played back and forth every weekend. They would go, we'd go up there, they'd come down here, and it wasn't until about my senior year that you got the likes of Taravella was doing a team, I remember, and you guys down in Miami, they had
Well,
a youth team.
we came a little bit later, Miami, but yeah, you had
Yeah,
Nomad, Broad, Prep, Naples.
I remember.
So
Yeah, I remember playing
uh,
Taravella, and that was.
yeah, Terror came along 2004, I believe. Do you remember the first game? That must have been really something.
Yeah, it was. It was in Port St. Lucie at Turtle Run Park, and I remember just getting the jerseys that day. Like we just got
Yeah.
the jersey, and that was a huge thing. And they were the old school cotton rubber button, as thick as they get, patches on the back. I remember it being super hot, and because it was towards the May, it would be like the end of spring is when we kind of started getting doing games with Cocoa Beach, so we still had the fall to kind of get our stuff together. And then, but yeah, we got our jerseys. I remember that being a big thing, and we had like we did a whole we tried to make it a big party, so we had like a sound system on the
Okay.
sideline pumping music. And so yeah, it wasn't at the school though. No, it was at Jessica
At,
Clinton Park, which I
at the
think well now
park, yeah,
it's
yeah.
it used to be Turtle Run Park. Yeah.
And
um
did you
but
have a big presence from the school? Because this is a small
yeah, like a
community,
lot of
right?
yeah, my graduating class was only 250 kids, so it's a small school. So yeah, there was buzz around school that this was going on. I don't remember there being like a principal there. I don't think she would have been there, but like there was a lot of classmates out, and obviously family and friends. So yeah, that was really fun. And we always usually had a good turnout, and we just were never allowed to really play on school because they're for the NCAA or the sanctioned school sanctioned sport instead of a club sport.
Yeah. So you would practice at school and play in the park,
Yes, yeah,
which
we
was
practiced at school and then played in the park.
which I remember was a very nice field at the time, at
Yeah,
least. And
yeah.
that first game, I know at the time you guys did not even get referees from the union because you were like sort of in the shadows. So it was either your dad or Ray. So do
Yeah.
you remember who
Or
ref
Ray.
that first game?
I'm sure it was. I don't remember, but I know my dad refed a lot.
Yeah,
Ray did as well, but I remember
I
my
guess
dad was so
I guess it was Ray because if your home team, you would give you would be give the courtesy to the
yeah,
visiting team.
right. It definitely wasn't ideal, but we kind of had to do what we had to do.
Yeah. Did you do you remember who won that game? Well, by
Oh,
any chance?
we always won.
Oh yeah, really?
uh, We did, yeah. Well, it didn't help because I was obsessed with rugby, so I just watched rugby all the time. I knew all the laws, as many as I could. And so I was just they put me at 10, which is if anybody knows the way I play, I'm not a 10 by any means, but that means I could quick tap pretty much anytime. So I'm sitting there, nobody knows what's going on. I see the
Yeah.
ref has this thing up. I'm just quick tapping and I'm going. So that was a lot of it. And I remember one time reading a write up on I think the Melbourne Times or something did a write up, and they said the opportunistic 10 who knows the laws really took control. And it's like, that's basically what it was, is I was just kind of quick tapping. And then if I could see something or, kind of just knowing the laws really helped. And quick throw ins and stuff like that was kind of a big thing. But yeah, we won a lot, but, you know, and then I got to college and realized I'm not a 10.
And those games were for the most part very cordial, right? I mean,
Oh
you
yeah.
guys sort of,
Yeah, they were
for
great.
what your dad said, that you become like good friends with all these guys.
Yeah, and another thing, sorry, like the Florida U19 was just kind of starting too. So
Yeah.
like these guys that were in college, under 19 in college, and
Oh,
then you had the guys that were kind of juniors, seniors coming up, and that was really fun because we had these older guys that had been playing in college, and we were learning. They, we kind of got each other, learning off of each other and playing off each other. And some of those guys, I got into college, they're still playing in college. We were still friends, and I remember we played Jamaica, and playing at that kind of level. They put me in for a little bit, and it was great. Kind of built me up, and it was like, hey man, you're not that good. Like, yeah, you can
mhm.
quick tap, but that's not going to work here. In U19 against these guys. So I think that was a big thing for Florida in general, was that youth, that U19 thing was awesome, and it probably brought a lot of exposure to rugby in a lot of college campuses as well.
So in 2024, I believe, we had the first championship with the six teams. You guys, Brevard, Nomads, Broward
Oh, in
Prep,
2004, 2004. Yeah.
Naples, and Taravella, which was, I guess, really exciting for you guys because you were playing Brevard every other
Yeah.
weekend, and now you have all this team.
Yeah, it was
Do
great.
you, do you remember that first season?
I do, yeah, because
Did
that was my senior year,
oh,
and yeah, it was kind of towards the springtime we were doing that, and yeah, I remember it being a big buzz that I couldn't believe there was more than just two teams, So it was great.
and you moved on to play in college. Where did you play?
I played for Florida Atlantic University.
You
I was
played the
there
whole,
from 2004 to 2008.
and that was a different
Um,
experience, right? College.
It was amazing, yeah. It was really cool because we were just finishing off high school rugby, and then that summer we did sevens with Treasure Coast, and so every sevens tournament we were meeting guys from all the colleges and stuff. And I knew I was going to FAU, so we linked up, and I actually got to play with FAU towards the later half of the seven season. So I played. I remember playing Beerfoot with them, which was amazing. That's always a fun time. And the Todd Miller's tournament, I played with them, and getting to know the guys in summertime, and then getting right into fall, getting to play with them. It was really really cool. And there was a lot of great talent. Obviously Keel, Trini, he was the captain at the time, and Nacho. From Argentina. He was amazing, number 10. And those guys really kind of showed me, now the finer parts of the game. I kind of had the brain for it, I knew it, but my body wasn't built for that. So they put me at flanker for my entire college season, and I loved it. It was amazing, amazing time.
And you
And
had a great
yeah,
coach,
the coaches were great.
John,
Yeah,
right?
Coach John was amazing. Yeah, that he was like, obviously, we're away from home, so he was kind of the father figure, but he was more than that. I mean, just his standard, and he was just a great, amazing guy, and we
Absolutely.
loved him dearly. He was awesome.
Um, and after college, you went on to play with Boca for a few years.
Okay. Yeah, I did
Not
three
only
seasons
play,
there, and then
not only play,
what's that?
because you were also not only play for Boca, but represent as president, right?
Yes. Yeah, I played for about 3 seasons afterwards, and then I broke my finger really bad, and I play violin for a living. So my wife
Oh
kind of was
shit!
like, "What's more important, your pretend rugby career or your actual career?" And I was like, "I thought I was gonna be a professional." So I stopped playing, but then I was feeling a little, missing the camaraderie part of it, and so I stepped away from the game for a little bit, and then I had some free time, and my schedule was kind of lightening up, and so I just wanted to be, part of it. So I show up
Yeah.
to the meeting, and they put me as vice president, and I was like, oh man. And then unfortunately, John Gross passed away, so then I became president for about 3 years, and then John Davenport came and really stepped the program back up to where it is now. And yeah, I still go out there. I stepped away, but I'm still supporting. And my kid's 5, and so we're going to talk about getting him into youth rugby next year. They
Oh,
start at
nice.
6, which they have an
So,
amazing program down in Boca Raton for youth. It's
Uh,
incredible. They have like 200 kids out there. It's amazing.
yeah, yeah. And that's really nice. I mean, you're gonna have that experience of now your kid playing if he likes it, of course, right?
Yeah, full circle. Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah. So Brian, what would you tell? Because right now we're in a situation regarding youth in high school. Youth is doing, I would say, pretty well. It is like advancing year to year. We have new programs. There's one pretty close there in Treasure Coast.
Yeah.
Uh, it's been there for a couple of years, and on the West Coast, and of course here in South Florida, it's pretty big. But we are sort of struggling with the high school level. So, what would you tell a kid? You went through the experience of actually trying to convince other kids to join rugby. So, what would you tell a kid? And now that you're also a parent, to the parents, why why playing rugby would be something good for their kids?
Yeah, well, I would tell the kids the one of the my big selling points to the other guys was anybody can score. That was to me the biggest thing to get kids to. I was like, look, you're a linebacker. You can score tries. You're huge. You're physical. It's all about mindset, and and then also there's a position for everybody type, right? You have the small guy. He can be a scrum half. He can be a wing. You have the bigger guys. They can be props. It's just that's the best part about rugby union is kind of the versatility in it, and as long as you're athletic, you're going to succeed. As far as the parenting standpoint and parents, for me, there's nothing better than rugby. I mean, the fact that you have to call the referee sir, and if you back talk to him, you're getting penalized. There's none of that in rugby, and that's huge, right? It's respect. It's all
Yeah,
about
yeah,
respect, and
absolutely.
respect your teammate, and respect your especially your opponents, and the referee above all else. It's three cheers for the ref is always the first one, right? So that I would say
Not
for the parents, but also
many,
teamwork in
many
general.
times,
It's
many times not the loudest one, but it is the first one for sure.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Uh,
And also, I think the parents, from what I've seen on the youth side down in Boca, the parents just kind of take it. They're not yelling like they do in the other sports. You go to a baseball game, a high school baseball game, they're just screaming at the umpires and the other team and the other team's families. So it's a pretty, what I think is like a family oriented sport. And I love that what I see with the kids now, there's the team mom that has all the orange slices, like the pizzas and stuff like that. It's a way to kind of come together and become a family. And a lot of the guys in Boca, the Boca high school guys, two of them are playing for life, right now. And
oh yeah.
there's guys that play at UCF together, and they're going to be friends from the time they were ninth grade to the time they leave college, and that's huge. I mean, I'm still friends with all my old college rugby friends. Some of them were my groomsmen, and they're lifelong friendships. So that's another big thing I would tell families if they want to get their kids started in rugby.
That's great. Yeah. Okay. Well, Brian, thank you very much. Very
Thank you,
interesting
Charlie.
to hear what was going on back then, and it's really nice to see when, because many players, probably most of them, sort of they fade away from rugby, but others like yourself, you stay in rugby, and now as you're doing the full circle, that you may have a third generation playing, or fourth.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it'd be amazing.
Your did your grandfather play rugby? Do
He
you
did
know?
not. No,
No.
no, he
It was
didn't.
your dad who started. Okay.
It's my dad. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you very much, and I'll see you
Thank you,
around.
Charlie.
You
Yeah, we'll
probably
see
run
you, man.
touch.
Thank you.
You probably run touch now and then, right?
If I'm out there, they usually put me on touch. I got a drink in the hand and then just
No, no, no drinks, no drinks. So thank you very much, man. Nice
Thank you.
talking to you.
Appreciate it. All
Bye
right.
bye.